Ladies and gentlemen, there is a super duper secret project going on over at Microsoft, and this has been unveiled to us by an advert, a job advert, for a senior software engineer. Now it would appear that it's going to be primarily focused on Kinect technology. They're basically looking to push Kinect technology to, and I quote, the next level, to push the envelope, if you will. And I'm going to read out a few choice areas of the job description, then we'll do some thoughts and opinions on it, if you will. Change the world and technology takes a special kind of person in just the right environment. At Microsoft, Xbox and Xbox Live forever changed living room entertainment by connecting people with each other and entertainment they love. Then we turned around and created Kinect, which redefines how people interact with their entertainment in new ways every day, and we're just beginning. A new team has formed at Microsoft's Xbox division with a specific purpose: to push the envelope of today's and tomorrow's technology as we explore new ideas from the ground floor. It begins with veterans from Xbox 360, Xbox Live and Kinect, but we're growing as quickly as our imagination can be translated into code. So they are saying that there will be some risks with this. Most of what we will work on is top secret. You may not know what your next project is until you accept the offer. Not all of my ideas will fly. We will also fail, and we will fail fast. Or on some projects, we will celebrate those failures because they are vital in making sure that we have the right ideas to take off in a big way. So if you want a comfortable standard job role at Microsoft with no ambiguity or risk, don't apply. But if you're passionate about the potential for the Kinect to continue revolutionizing entertainment, or a seasoned software engineer with skills to prototype and build the future of premium Kinect powered experiences, we have a growing team for you. Now, furthermore, they said in this role your technical skills and creativity will be pushed to their limits as you weave together disparate technologies to tell the story of the future entertainment will look like. And furthermore, they said you will learn what even more existed about machine vision, data mining, AI, voice recognition, and embedded systems. You'll become an expert in one or more of those areas, and you will work with a truly agile team to build and iterate on prototypes to evolve and demonstrate our creative vision. Then they go on to the normal stuff, such as, you know, if you've got a good set of leadership skills and you've got technical ability in delivering quality code and ship products and basic, you know, kind of that type of stuff, which I'm not gonna bother to go into because that's all kind of standard job stuff that I'm sure most of you are familiar with anyway. So what does that mean? Well, it's obvious. Microsoft, despite the fact that Kinect's dead is what everyone says, it's not, according to Microsoft. In other words, they are still working on it. This comes to us after changes that we know of from even the SDK/API, where we were doing some analysis on this just the other day. And do you remember how we found out that there's a 7th CPU now accessible to developers, as certain voice commands which are custom for games? Developers can say, hey, we actually don't want those. We don't want those booting. We want instead to have access to that performance. We want it to be able to go to, you know, our rendering or our X, whatever that is. And obviously we did some technical investigation on that, so you can check that out if you so desire. I've covered it on both the channel and the website. This, however, is a bit different. This is showing that Microsoft, for certain games and for certain applications, still has a passion for the Kinect technology. To be honest with you, I'm not really that sold on Kinect. And I know that's probably going to annoy some of you to hear, but I like the Xbox One. I really like the console, but I didn't buy mine with Kinect. I've tried Kinect a couple of times around a friend's, and I couldn't get into it. And most of the people I know that ended up with Kinect, they've just unplugged it. Two reasons: their voice control for certain games, like for example Rise, didn't really work too well, particularly with our British accents. They were just like, nah, sorry, not happening. And secondly, it doesn't really, you know, the games that are Kinect exclusive at the moment aren't really killer applications. It's not to say that Kinect's crap, it's just, it doesn't feel like it's evolved enough. It feels like it's in the very early infancy, and it needs a push. I don't obviously know what that push is. Hopefully we'll see some Kinect focused applications. Obviously right now you can do basic stuff like, say, Xbox On, or, you know, Xbox Record now and other basic functionality. So they probably will want to improve the voice recognition, in other words, to make sure that when you give commands they're more likely to be followed. But it's very interesting to me how they're talking about AI, because AI has a lot of implications. It would be very interesting if they could maybe get something to converse with you, particularly as we're hearing a lot of rumours with Cortana. And some early rumours with Cortana, by the way, actually had it that she would actually interact with you to a degree. I've heard that, and it would actually be on the Xbox One as an application. And we do know there's a vast amount of RAM on the Xbox One that is potentially could be used for this. Furthermore, and logically speaking, because of course you've got the very, very awesome, I actually really like the OS setup that Microsoft have got with the basically hypervisor running 2 virtual machines. That's pretty much, they've got a free OS setup, and I really like that. And so potentially they could have a lot of wiggle room there, depending obviously on just how much RAM is actually really being used by the OS stack. We simply don't know. Is it a bit like Sony? Because some developers and some rumours, once again, how accurate those are, throw a coin. But from what I'm hearing, some people are saying, you know what, the fact that 5 gigs is available doesn't really mean anything, doesn't really mean that 3 gigs is being taken by the PS4's OS. It could well be that the PS4's OS is only taking 1.5 gigs, and thus the rest is just kind of doing nothing. And we know that the PlayStation 4 has flexible memory. We don't know quite so much with the Xbox One. So I'm going to be doing some analysis on the technical documents that we've got, because I want to kind of follow up on this. But yeah, so I kind of want them to push the Kinect technology. I don't want it to be a failed technology, because at the end of the day, many smacked Microsoft for some of their choices, for the price of the Xbox One initially, for the fact that they went with DDR3 and the various ES RAM and other bits and bobs, and many pushed the fact that they did that for Kinect. So I don't think that anyone wants the Kinect to fail. I certainly don't. I'd rather it be an interesting piece of technology, which, if not essential to the Xbox One, is at least a good addition to the Xbox One, rather than how most people, at least in my opinion, perceive it right now, which is, yeah, well, it's Kinect, who cares? Anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed the video. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye for now.